The researchers, particularly research scholars, must have a clear-cut idea about the resources available in the IEEE database and how to access them. In this regard, IEEE Srinivas University Student Branch has organized this webinar to shed light on what are the resources available in the IEEE repository, what are the ways and means to access them, how to retrieve data based on the area of interest, etc. Whom else we can contact to enlighten us other than Dr. Ved Prakash Mishra, a technocrat, an educationist, an active researcher, and moreover, a senior member of IEEE. Now I request Dr. Ved Prakash Mishra to take over. Sir, please.
Thank you so much for your kind invitation and introduction. Thank you all, and thank you all for joining this session. All the participants, co-host, and everyone, management and faculties from Srinivas University. Thank you so much. Today, our topic is IEEE benefits to research community. Myself, Dr. Ved P. Mishra, and I'm working here as an associate professor in University of Dubai, and I'm taking care of IEEE activities as well. So I will just go through initially about the IEEE, because if some new students are there might not be knowing about IEEE and all the way. So just going what is IEEE, why it is needed, which all things are available in IEEE, and how can we make it more useful in our professional life. So hope my slides are visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, IEEE, the full form is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and the tagline is Advanced Technology for Humanity. Basically, when you talk about IEEE is the largest technical professional association in the world, where it is dedicated to advancing technological innovation and excellence for the benefits of humanity. IEEE and its members inspire a global community through IEEE highly cited publications, conferences, technology standards, professional and educational activities. As our topic is how can we benefited with IEEE. So we have many things in the IEEE, like some very few things I have mentioned it here about the conferences, publications, journals, all the technology innovations. And the best thing about the IEEE is all over the world, not only from the education, from the industry as well, and research labs, and many researchers have joined this IEEE and associated. They keep sharing, submitting, and publishing their work in the IEEE. The mission of IEEE is IEEE core purpose is to foster technological innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanity. And vision is also given here. IEEE will be essential to the global technical community and to technical professionals everywhere, and be the universally recognized for the contributions of the technology and of technical professionals in improving global conditions. Now, I will just give you a basic glance of IEEE. What is IEEE currently in the world? You can see here more than 4 lakhs members are there in IEEE with more than 160 countries. And basically this IEEE was started from USA, but 50% of members are outside USA. And out of that, more than 1,20,000 are the students members. And we have 339 sections in 10 geographic regions worldwide. Like India, I guess, comes under the region 10. I'm based in UAE, So UAE comes under region 8. 2,430 chapters are there. 3,284 student branches are there in the universities and colleges over 100 countries. And 2,266 student branch chapters of IEEE technical societies are there. And 543 affinity groups are there. Now, these data is just 1 year back. I had collected everything. So these data are from 1 year back. In this recent year as well, means in this 2020, late 19 and 20, many more have been added, like student branch and all those things have been added. Now, if I'm talking about this affinity group, these are the groups where we provide the life members, IEEE entrepreneurship, women's in engineering, young professional members, and all those. One, I don't know how many students have joined in this, but you might have heard about IEEE Extreme competition. Nowadays, it's open, where faculties can register as an instructor and students can make the team, and they can join a team and they, yeah, sorry, anything? Yes. So,
No, sorry, you can continue. No.
okay, sorry. Now you can see here 4.5 million documents, more than 5 million documents even are there in the IEEE Explore Digital Library. So if you want to access any research paper, you can directly go to IEEE Explore Digital Library where you can download all these things. And 8 million downloads each month. It has cost actually 10 million. In coming slide, I will give you more size details. And you can see approximately 200 transactions, journals and magazines, when it's more than 200, and 1900 conferences in 103 countries. This is just a glance of IEEE, what IEEE is. If you are going to the technical societies, you can see I have listed the societies which are available in the IEEE. So these are the societies which are available, and you can see here every branch associated with IEEE, whether it's computer science, whether it's aerospace, whether it's solar energy, whether it's mechanical energy, mechanical automation, whether it's electronics, electrical. Every branch is having some technical society in IEEE. You can see here some of these are Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society, Antenna Propagation Society, Broadcast Technology Society, Computer Society, Consumer Electronics Society, Control Systems Society. Many are there. Now, out of these societies, many are paid, but many societies are free of cost. They provide you 1 or 2 year free of cost membership. So once you are joining with IEEE, the best thing is you can go in your profile and you can check which all the societies are free and related to you. And you can just give the request and you will get the notification that you have been added in the society or you have become the member of the society. If you don't want to pay, then also for you, many societies are there which are free of cost. So you can join, check which are the societies which are free of cost and you can join it out of the society. So you may go later on the societies in your profile and you can check whatever is free, you can join. And if you want, if something is more important to you and it is paid, you should join that as well. Now, this data I have included till 2018 only, till 31st December 2018. You can see the membership drive, how many total IEEE members are there. And from 1963 till 2018. So till 2018, more than 450,000 members were there. You can check it here. So this is just a graph, how many members, and these are from worldwide, not only from India or UAE, it's from worldwide. So the best thing about the IEEE is no matter which country you are going, which region you are going, which place you are going, you will find the IEEE members there and IEEE activities in those countries. These are the regions. IEEE regions, and you can see total 10 regions are there. So 1 to 6, 7, and 9 are in America, North and South America, and all those. And region 8 is this where we are situated, and region 10 is India, China, and all those things comes into play. So this is just a glance of IEEE regions which are available in throughout the worldwide. So these are the membership by region. How many members are there in each region? You can see it here, and what is the percentage in each region. So you can see 50% IEEE members are from USA and all those countries. In region 1 to 7 and then 9. And 8 and 10, only 8 and 10 also is having nearly 48 to 50% members are from only region 8 and 10. So we, UAE and India, where are these are two countries were situated, you can see the only two regions 8 and 10 is having nearly 48% members are there. So how popular this IEEE is there worldwide. Now, this is the chart where you can see what all are there in region 10, which is your place. So different 58 sections, councils, chapters, FNT group, student branches, subsections, student branch, FNT, student branch, chapters, areas. So these are the region 10 details. I have not included other regions because I thought since I'm presenting for region 10, so I included this. You can just have a look. This is the organizational chart. This is the organizational chart of IEEE. IEEE members, IEEE board of directors, IEEE executive committee members, geographical activities, educational activity board, IEEE USA board of directors, publication, services and products board, standard association, technical activities board, and from IEEE executive committee, executive director and staffs are there. So this is about the IEEE, how IEEE works. So main part is, the most important part is volunteers, because volunteers run whole IEEE. So volunteers, members, and different IEEE staff. These are the three dimensions where all three together works for the IEEE. So volunteers are there who give their services to IEEE for different events, reviews, and all those things. Then one question for which we are talking it today, why IEEE is useful, or if I'm talking about the researchers, so I'm taking here the authors, those who will be writing the papers, those who will be doing the innovations, are writing the research proposals and all those things. So why are the IEEE authors seen as the best and brightest today? Wow. So there are three major reasons: findability, credibility, flexibility. Findability, you can find the IEEE papers all over the world, no matter which are the citing body or the indexing body, IEEE papers are there. Credibility, IEEE is worldwide. And flexibility, there are many things which you can do. If one person is not in one particular field, many fields are there in IEEE. The best thing about the IEEE is it's not focused about only one branch or only one area. IEEE considers nearly everything together. So this is the best thing about IEEE. And if you are talking about the findability, how will you get the research papers and all this? You can see here, IEEE Explore Digital Library is very popular all over the world. You can have your own login and password where you can log in with your ID and password, and all the profiles, whatever you want to search. See, something has been searched, wireless sensor network. The moment you just type one topic, whatever is coming in your mind, many times it happens, the new researchers, they don't know which type of papers they should look for. They just started, they have just found some topic, and they have to do the literature review. Now they don't know which type of topic or which type of papers they should look for. So you just type your area in IEEE Explore Digital Library and search it. You will find all the papers related to those areas. Now, after finding those papers, you can download those papers. Now, many things are subscription basis and many things are free of cost as well. So if you are working in some organization, you have a student chapter and all those things, whether your organization is providing all these things, then you can download the papers from your organization network. Otherwise, many things are free of cost as well. You just see which are the open access papers and all those things. So see, left hand side, if you look in this diagram, content type, conferences, journals, early accesses, books, standards, educational courses. So these are the type where contents are there in the IEEE Explore Digital Library, like all the conference papers which are associated with IEEE. So IEEE sponsors the conference as well, region-wise. And finally, it will be approved from IEEE USA. So even if you want to organize some conference, you have to apply at your local region. Executive committee will approve, and then they will send it to you. Then you will have to apply through online. It will go to IEEE USA, and then they will contact you, region chairperson, and after that it will be approved. You will get all the things. Like I am organizing the IEEE conferences since 3-4 years, and I have organized many conferences. So the most popular conference which we organized last time was ICC ICRE 2019, where it was by IEEE, and then again we have next conference is upcoming in 2024. So if you want to organize the conferences, you can follow this process. Then you have generals, early access, books, and standard education. So you can use this IEEE, and the best thing is you can search with a single year, or you can provide the range from which year to which year you want the papers. So like this, you can search it from here. If anybody is having any confusion, you can write your questions in the chat box. At last, we will be taking all these. Now, how much do researchers use IEEE Explore? So this is just accounts. How much people explore or use this IEEE Explore? So you can see 11,000 downloads in 1 hour alone. So you can imagine how many people are using this IEEE Explore, and how popular this IEEE Explore is in worldwide. So average 7 million documents each month are downloaded from IEEE Explore. Next, you can see if you are talking about if I am publishing my paper, research paper with IEEE Explore. Suppose that your some conference is approved by IEEE, and after that, that proceeding is going to IEEE Explore Digital Library. Whether it will be indexed to major indexing agencies or not. Nowadays, Scopus is very popular. So all the one thing you should keep in your mind, all the IEEE conferences paper which are published in IEEE Explore Digital Library are indexed by Scopus. So these are the some Scopus, some indexing agencies where all these your papers will be indexed. So many people ask us whether this conference papers will be Scopus indexed or not. So yes, IEEE, if your paper is published in any conferences of IEEE, and finally your papers have been published in IEEE Explore Digital Library, it will come in the Scopus index. So in IEEE Explore, not only conference papers, you will find the journal papers as well. So IEEE journals are also available on IEEE Explore. So that's why anything which is published on IEEE Explore will come under the Scopus. So that's why IEEE is more popular now. Now, IEEE also gives you open access publications. In open access, you have the hybrid journals, you have mega journal, you have fully open access journal. So fully open access journals devoted to only one topic, technology topic, mega journals, multidisciplinary open access, hybrid journals, subscription based and open access. So generally, many people say that my citation index is not high. My citation index is very low. My H index is very low. My I10, S10 index is very low. So for that, people prefers to go with open access journals. Open access journals are available, means their contents are available where each and every person, whoever wants to download the content, they can download those papers. So if you are publishing with open access journals, it will be very fruitful in the terms of citations. If you want to increase your citations, you can go with the open access journals where you will be getting more citations since documents are available free of cost to the researchers. If it is not open access, what happens? If whoever is having access of those documents, they can only download those papers and read, and then they can refer your papers in open access. So IEEE provide the open access journals as well. So you can just see whether you want to go with this or not. So if new question, what builds authors credibility? So for more than 125 years, IEEE has been the trusted source for researchers in academia, corporate, and governments. So past and present IEEE members included nearly 2 dozens of Nobel Prize winning innovators are also associated with IEEE. So this is nothing more than that. You can get it like if you have more than 2 dozen Nobel Prize winners, innovators are there with IEEE. You can just think the value, how valuable IEEE is any researcher. Now, if you will see patent references from the top 5 STM publishers. So if you will see the IEEE is on the top. So IEEE is cited 3x more often than the nearest competitions. So down you can see the numbers, then US Department of Energy, American Institute of Physics, Elsevier and Academic Press, Lead and Association of Computing Machinery and IEEE. So this is just one comparison which has been taken, and you can see IEEE is the highest at this place. Then about the peer reviews. Peer review ensures high quality of every article submitted. In IEEE, the best thing is your papers will not be blindly published. There are some certain rules and regulations for IEEE. Means every paper should go with certain type of review, and if your paper is coming in that category, then only it will be accepted. Otherwise, papers will not be accepted. So this gives more this makes IEEE more credible. So no papers are published without the peer review. So IEEE peer reviewed ensures high quality of every article submitted. So this is another good thing about IEEE. IEEE publishing can connect authors with other licenses. Like good thing about the IEEE is the IEEE all these explore and everything is available with the librarians, different authors are there, researchers are there, innovators are there. Everyone is connected together from all over the world in IEEE. So if somebody has done some innovation or somebody has published the good research paper on IEEE, even no matter which country they are, we can access it sitting from our home. So this is the beauty of IEEE, which contents are available all over the world 24/7. So you can connect everyone, innovators. Now, I was just talking about why it is directly related to the credibility of the content. So IEEE Explores are passed now. This is the 2020 data. 5 million documents are available. 5 million, even 5 million plus documents are available now on IEEE Explore. 8 million downloads per month. So you can just imagine how much people are using the IEEE and how useful this IEEE content, research papers and all those things for the researchers. IEEE is also the most cited publisher in the US and European new technology patents, with over 3x more than any other publisher. Then authors add more than 1,000 articles daily. Every day, more than 1,000 authors are contents are available added in that. Then flexibility in the publication process. What are the opportunities to publish at IEEE? Now, where we can actually publish our articles. So you can see IEEE provides us the 150 plus journals, 1800 plus conferences, 1600 plus print and electronic books, 40 plus magazines. So authors can find where their works belong. Whatever the work you are doing, the type of work you have done, you can choose accordingly your destination where you want to publish it. Like IEEE transactions and journals are there, where if you have done some high quality of work, you can always go with IEEE transactions and journals. So if you want to go with the journals, journals are available. If you want to go with the conferences, conferences are available, and not 1 and 2. Journals are 150 plus, 100 plus, 1800 plus conferences are there. 1600 plus print and electronic books are there, and 40 plus magazines are there. So you can reach anywhere, any type of resource you can use, whatever you have written, you can publish it accordingly. So you can choose whatever you want. IEEE web-based workflow includes electronic submissions. So if you are talking about the electronic submissions, a scholar wants manuscript, certain time from submission to IEEE publications helps author track the paper's progress. So you can actually track the things, whatever you have submitted, what is the progress and all those things, and you can do the electronic submission. IEEE publishes article not issues. Means whatever the article you have written, research article or magazine article or articles for the journals and everything, it publishes, it's not issued. Means IEEE publishes only articles not issued. Then you can go with IEEE Digital Author Toolbox is a robust resource. What you can do actually. So Digital Author Toolbox provides us the templates, style guide, the article proof procedure, how to order reprints, many frequently asked questions, and more. Tools information to assist article preparation and submission. Like if somebody is writing the research paper, they don't know in which format you have to submit to the journals or the conferences or whatever. So for that, IEEE helps you accordingly. If you want some templates, like for the conferences, templates are different. For the journals, templates are different. Each and everything you can get it, even Word document format, PDF format, LaTeX format, all those formats are available on IEEE. How to proofread your article. So article proof procedures are also there. Article proof procedures and how to order the reprints. How to reprints means journal, if you have published your papers in the journals and it's coming with the reprints, how to order those things, everything you will get it from here. So authorship with IEEE is a comprehensive experience. You can get it whatever you want, whatever you are looking for, you can get it from there. And to make a successful author and effective paper, what is needed? People need to find you. They need to trust what they find. That trust motivates them to return. So now, if you are publishing your papers in local journals and all those things, local conferences, local places, you can publish it might be published very easily. It might be published without peer review, which at that point of time you will feel very happy, but in long term, it's not very useful for the researchers, because for what we work for, if you are working as a researcher, innovators, or as a faculty member, mentors of the students and all those things, So whatever you have published, if nobody is referring your work, there is no use of that research paper. You have done something which is not useful to the world, to the society. So for what we have done that work? Just for the sake of publishing, if we are publishing the things, it's not useful. So we should always choose the place where if you are publishing your content, your articles and everything, how useful it is for the society and who are going to look your papers, your content and everything. So all these things you have to look at, and for that IEEE is the best place. IEEE is the best place where people can find you easily, and if you have published something with IEEE, everyone can trust on you and on your research paper and on your work, and then that will motivate to cite those papers, and which will comes as a reward for the researcher. If somebody is using my article, if somebody is using your article to write their article, not copy paste and plagiarism, just to refer the things, and so we get the citation as well in the return. So that is for that actually we work for. Okay? Our work has been useful for the other papers in long term. So that's why if you are publishing the papers with IEEE, it will be very useful for you. IEEE would like to you reach your full potential as a published author. So you can visit these websites www.ieee.org/go authorship, or you can if you want to search for any article, you can go www.ieee.org/IEEE explore. So that's it from my side. Now I would like to take the questions from your people. If anybody is having any confusion, any question, how to approach to IEEE, how to search for the conference paper, how to search for the general papers, or how to submit the general, how to look for the general papers. You can just write your questions in the chat box. We will, I will try to give the answer for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the resourceful session. Participants, if you have any questions, please turn on your audio and ask. The forum is open for discussion.
Sir, hello. Wait, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, please.
Is it audible my voice, sir? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible. Please ask.
Sir, is it mandatory to become a member of IEEE to download the paper, sir?
No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. If your organization is providing the access, sometimes what happens, organizations are having access for their network. So you can use that network and you can download the paper. So it's not necessary everyone who is member can access the paper. But yes, membership gives you the many privileges, which once you will get the membership, you will find it. But no, it's not you can download only paper if you are the member. No. If you are working in some organization, you are in some organization, you can always download the paper.
And
Hello.
Annual. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
Sir, for the annual renewal, it is there. Suppose I am a member of the IEEE, is there I needed to renewal every year once, or what are the category of to become a member?
Yes, annual renewal is necessary for any IEEE member. Even if you are not, suppose that you are not renewing in 1 year, that's okay. Your membership will be deactivated. But next year, if you want to activate it, you can activate same membership. The good thing about if you are renewing it every year, after some time you become and you have done some work for IEEE and you have helped to the society, you on that basis you get the senior membership, and then after down the line you get the fellow of IEEE. Now there are many categories are there for membership. One you can take as a faculty, means professional. One you can take as a graduate student, which generally PhD students and all those people takes that membership, and one as a student member. So a student member is very less price, I guess $25, but sometimes if you will check in January or February, they give 50% discount to you. So you should check when 50% discounts are coming, you can join it. And one option is there if you are joining as a professional for IEEE and you are renewing your membership. If your income is certain, there is some income perspective as well. So they provide if your income is yearly less than this, they give the discount on that as well. So while taking the membership, you can check that thing as well.
Okay, thank you, sir. And one more question, sir. Is there any procedure to become a lifetime member?
See, lifetime member is not there. You have to renew every year. So you will become after down the line if you work. I told you as a it's generally like I had joined a student member, then graduate student member, then I became the member of IEEE, then I became the senior member. Down the line, if your works are good, you will become the fellow. So the moment you are becoming fellow, so after some time you will enjoy IEEE actually. After some time you have joined and you will be actively there, automatically nobody will tell you to renew. You will automatically start renewing because you will enjoy the activities which are there in the IEEE. So, and one thing I missed, I guess, IEEE also provides some funding for the projects as well. So a student can submit their projects to the IEEE and they can get the funding $500, $1,000 or $200, something like that. So you should also check that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening,
Yeah,
sir.
hi. Yeah, good.
Sir, when I try to download some of the IEEE papers, so it gives like, so you don't have the access. So is there any other way of downloading such papers when we don't have the access to them? So it's like locked kind of thing.
See, that's why I told you, okay, if your organization is providing the access, you can download papers easily, or you just look it for the open access papers which are available. So open access papers and some conference papers are also available which are open access. So if one lock type things are there, if green color is there and it's open, you can download that paper without any permission. And if red color lock is there, means you can't download that paper without the permission. So even if you are the member, just it's not there if you are only member and you are able to download all the papers. For us as well, we need the extra access. So you can't download it directly. So many people use the ResearchGate and all those things. Via that they can request to the authors, can you send the papers, then we can do it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I am Dr. Krishna Prasad, branch
Yes.
counselor of Srinivas University.
Yeah.
And hello.
Yeah, sir. I'm
Yeah.
audible.
Okay,
Audible,
okay.
please.
So we have just started Srinivas University IEEE student branch,
Yes.
but we have a hope that we can conduct in next year one IEEE conference. So
Yes.
I kindly request your support, and I hope you will support for that. And I want to know the procedure, how we have to go ahead to conduct a conference.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, I will be supporting for that, and I will be available anytime. Please drop in the email. I have given my email ID, and I think Dr. Chantila is there. She knows my email ID and phone number, so you can always contact us. And it's not very tough process. I will just one time we can fix the meeting and we can talk, and I will tell you what all need to be done to start the initial process of the conferences.
Okay, is there any condition like we have to become 1 year member, or we have to utilize
No,
1 year after that only we
it's
can
not.
start?
You should have that branch. You should have that
Yeah,
branch, and the
correct.
condition is somebody should be the financial sponsor and somebody should be the technical sponsor. So your student branch could be the technical sponsor and financial sponsor could be your university. And then whatever the registration fees you are collecting, because whenever you organize the IEEE conference, per paper there is a charge which we need to submit it to IEEE, and then overall conference charge is also there. So condition is you should have very good reputed international advisory board as well as technical committee. So these two things should be very reputed, and it's from all over the world. So if these two things are very strong, generally we get the approval.
Okay, okay. Okay, today actually many of them registered, but here it is festival time. That's why
Yes, yes.
that's maybe the one reason. That's why participants are a little bit less.
It's okay, no
Navaratri
problem.
time. Yeah, yeah.
That's okay, thank you. Mine is also today is the weekend, so Friday, Saturday is the weekend here.
Okay, okay. Sir.
So I can understand. Thank you. So any other question, anybody? So I think there is no question now. So if anyone is having any query, you can always the email to my email ID. I have given my personal email ID as well as IEEE email ID as well. So you can just drop the email. I will be happy. Thank you. Thank you so much. And
Sir,
thank you.
Ved Prakash sir,
Yeah.
I'm the chair of student branch, Srinivas University. Please
Yes.
tell me something about what are the financial help the IE will provide for our activities, sir.
See, IEEE generally platform where you can advertise your thing. Okay. So if you will see, hope you have got the V-tool access.
Yes, sir. We have the tool and
Yes.
we have registered there.
Yes. So on the V-tool, you can
Yes.
register these student branch officers first thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because
Done, sir.
you will be applying for the conference. Two people will be getting the email. One, whoever the student president is there.
Sir.
Whoever is the student president is there, that person will get. If you are putting IEEE student branch as a technical sponsor, and then you will be getting all the emails. So this thing is very important. Then one good thing is whenever you are conducting, you can upload it on the V tool, and it will go to all over the world. It will go to, so you can advertise your content all over the world within minutes. Then I don't know whether you have access that IEEE one group is there, collaborate or something on Facebook as well. So there everyone is there. You can advertise your events there. So IEEE provides you to make your event global, not only within one college or one university. So if you are publishing content there, it will go to all over the world. So, and if you are opening it with some link, from every link joins the conference. Like last year when we organized the conference, we had received the paper nearly more than 36 countries paper. More than 36 countries papers. That only possible because this IEEE global platform where we could publish our thing, we could reach to the people, and we were getting the paper on the name of the IEEE. So how best you are using financially, generally they don't support much, but yeah, technically and the kind of platform they are providing, that is very important in our life, in the professional life for the educators.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Do we need to pay for publishing our work in IEEE journals, sir?
No, for the journals, there is no. Sometimes open access journals ask for the money. Open access journals. If you are publishing IEEE transactions and all those things which are not open access, you don't have to pay any money. Not at all. Yeah. But for the conference, IEEE charged nearly last year it was $15 or $17 per paper. They had made $23 per paper for the conference. So if you are the conference organizer, if you are sending 100 paper to them, so per paper you have to give $23 to IEEE. And then there is a conference charge as well. Last year it was $1,000. This time they have made it $1,500. So that much you have to pay to IEEE. But for the journals, you don't have to pay if it is not open access. Some open access journals also don't charge the money. Some open access journals ask for the money. But if it is not open access journals, IEEE transactions and all those things, they will not ask any money for you.
Thank you, sir.
And this is the reason people choose more general things, because if they have card, why they will pay to publish their own work, which is very useful to even general and society as well. So that's why there is no charge for publication in the journals. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I think any more question?
Geeta madam, if no question, you can continue.
Okay, sir, I'll proceed.
Yeah.
Expressing gratitude is to acknowledge the help of many people for the smooth functioning of an event. I request Mr. Vinay Chandra, Chair IEEE Srinivas University Branch, to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I deem it my special privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the people who have extended their helping hands to organize this webinar. I thank Dr. Veda Prakash Mishra for sharing his knowledge with us. Thanks a lot, sir. A big thanks to you, Dr. A. Jayantilala Devi, Professor, Branch Advisor, for your efforts in arranging the resource person. Thank you so much, madam. I must mention my deep sense of gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Krishna Prasad K, Branch Counselor, for his guidance and support in organizing this webinar. Thanks a lot, sir. I thank Dr. P.S. Aital, Vice Chancellor, Srinivas University and Branch Head, and Professor P. Sridharacharya, Dean, College and Faculty Advisor, for providing an opportunity to organize this webinar. I thank all the members of the Executive Committee and Operation Committee for their cooperation. Thank you, sirs and madams. A program this kind will not be effective without enthusiastic participants. I thank all the participants for their active involvement. Thanking everyone responsible for the smooth functioning of this webinar, I conclude. Thanks a lot.